And then breaking news, a Milwaukee police officer shoots a man suspected of armed robbery. It happened late this afternoon near Humboldt and Locust.
We've got Todd Hicks there. He's on the scene. And Todd, what have you been able to learn so far?
Well, this is still a very active scene. Let me step out of the way to give you a better idea of the location that I'm talking about. This is the Dollar General store on Locust near Humboldt. Now, Milwaukee police confirming an officer shot an armed suspect at this general store. They say it happened during a robbery attempt here around 3 p.m. You're looking at video shot by Chopper 4 just a short time ago. Now, we're waiting for more details from police. They expect to speak about this incident in just about 4 to 5 minutes from now, but I'm told one person was rushed to Freighter Hospital. It's not clear if the person is the suspect at this point. Police say they plan on releasing more information, as I said, in just about 4 to 5 minutes from now. As you can see, the area is still taped off with a good 30 to 40 different police officers, as well as the police chief is expected to arrive on the scene here momentarily. We're live on Locust near Humboldt. Todd Hicks, today's TMJ4.
And Todd, as we wait for the chief to give us more details, is there any sense how many people were in the store? Were there witnesses to this situation going on?
We don't have a lot of details right now, but I can tell you this is a pretty large crime scene area. Of course, we're right between two large apartment or condo buildings, so there's a lot of people around the area. No doubt that somebody saw something that happened. We expect to learn more information from the chief in just a couple of minutes from now.
Okay, and we will bring that news conference to you live as soon as it happens. So now we're going to go back to live to the officer involved shooting. Chief Flynn is talking. This is in Milwaukee, outside the Dollar General at Humboldt and Locust.
Law. We notified the Department of Justice and secured the scene pending their arrival. They have now been here. They are organizing the investigation and will continue to conduct that investigation moving forward. I don't have much more for you at this time. I'll take a few questions. The officer, as is our protocol, will be placed on administrative duty.
Where did the officer struck the suspect and where did the suspect shoot himself?
I'm sorry?
Where did the officer struck the suspect? Where was the...
Yes, that'll be part of the investigation, which bullet went where.
Chief, so as the police officers entered, they were confronted with the suspect. Can you walk us through that again?
That's correct. There was a man masked, armed with a handgun, holding the store up upon their entry into the store.
Do you know anything about the suspect's age?
We don't know his age or identity yet. That will have to be the result of the investigation conducted by DOJ.
Extent of his injuries life-threatening?
He apparently is in very serious condition.
No one else was hurt?
No one else was hurt.
Can you tell us something?
There were several. Apparently, there were half a dozen witnesses in the store. They obviously will be interviewed by the Department of Justice. There are also other officers who got there who also saw all or part of this be interviewed by the Department of Justice.
Only those two shots fired? There were no...
That's our understanding at this time, yes.
Was he in there alone, the suspect, robbing this?
Yeah, we don't have any information there were additional suspects. We're not seeking anyone else at this time.
Just so we're clear, there was one officer that responded to the...
Two officers responded, one engaged the suspect.
And the time again?
Approximately 3 o'clock, the officers arrived shortly after 3. Okay? Thank you.
We have Chief Flynn wrapping up a news conference at the scene of Dollar General, where there was an armed robbery in progress when police were called to the scene there around 3 o'clock this afternoon. We do know now that the suspect also shot himself, but we were trying to learn more details on just sort of what involvement, because police were telling us this was an officer-involved shooting as well. The officer is a 7-year veteran, 38 years old, and that the condition of the person shot is very serious at this point.
Yes, the Department of Justice is on the scene, and as soon as we're going to go back out live to Todd with more information about what has happened. Todd.
Well, Stephen Carroll, all this happening around 3 p.m. today. The chief speaking here in front of the Dollar General store on Locust near Humboldt just a few minutes ago. And let me walk you through exactly what he said. He said that police were called to this store after reports of a robbery attempt. They received a 911 call. Upon entering the store, they were confronted with a masked gunman who was apparently robbing this store. One of the officers asked this gentleman to put his weapon down. When he did not comply, police are telling telling us that he shot this suspect. The suspect then took his own weapon and shot himself. At this point, we know that that person was taken to Freighter Hospital. His condition, we believe, is to be quite serious, but that, of course, has not been confirmed by police or hospital officials. But there's probably a good 20 to 30 officers here on the scene. As Chief Flynn said just a couple of minutes ago, the Department of Justice was on the scene and has now taken over and is assisting in this investigation. Of course, anytime that is the law, anytime there is a police-involved shooting. We're live out here in Locust near Humboldt. Todd Hicks, today's TMJ4.
And Todd, we know Chief Flynn said there are about a half dozen witnesses on the scene, or half dozen people in the store at the time. Any word of any kind of videotape? A lot of these stores these days have cameras inside. Any knowledge of that at all?
Well, that's a very good question. We're going to have our photographer, Eric Steffens, pan over to one of the buildings that we're talking about. This is Locust Court. As you can see, there are some security cameras in their area, so there is no doubt that police are asking to take a look at that security cam video. As you can see, this is a very large apartment building. This Dollar General store on Locust sits between two large apartment and condo buildings, so there was a lot of people around. Chief Flynn saying that there was about a half dozen people in the store at the time of that robbery, so they are, of course, on the sidelines right now talking to those people, making sure that the story that police have talked about and the kind of time frame is correct. And as I said, the Department of Justice is out here along by the side of MPD.
All right, Todd Hicks live at the scene of an officer-involved shooting. We're going to have much more on this story coming up on Live at 6.
Thank you, Todd.